everybody, welcome back to Sunflower Cottage Crochet. This is Sarah, and today's tutorial is for the Friendship Crochet Along, the Square Sun and Stars Granny Square. So this one is written in UK terminology, and it uses 3 colors if you so choose. I recommend it, but any 3 will work. However, the pattern does give you suggestion, Caron Simply Soft, which I actually have in front of me. But my blanket, as I've stated before, is done in Valentine colors, so these are the 3 I've chosen to work with. You have, in her pattern, she says gold, ocean, and sunshine. So gold and sunshine are going to be the 2 light colors. That's what I'm going to put pink and cream with. And then my dark color is going to be this autumn red. So, but you can use any 1, 2, 3 colors that you want. You'll need a 5mm hook. This is my Furls Odyssey Peach 5mm. Obviously you're going to need a tapestry needle, tape measure to make sure you're reaching that 9-inch square, and scissors, of course, as always. So there's a few things I want to go over. And okay, she says that rounds 9 and 10 form the star stitch worked over 2 rounds. She has a link you can go to if you want to know more about the actual star stitch. But otherwise, it'll be worked on camera with you, so it's not going to be too difficult. This is my handy dandy awful handwriting for UK to US terminology. I'm going to slide in here a little bit. Okay, so this is the UK term. This is the actual wording. These are the abbreviations, and this is what it means in US terms. So for the UK, double crochet is a single crochet. A treble is a double. A half treble is a half double. Double treble is just a treble. A miss equals skip. And then she has other terms like back post, chain, front post, magic circle, and 3 triple cluster. So that's actually 3 double crochet cluster for the US. So I just wanted to make sure that you're aware of this. You can always, on her pattern, there's a link to her site where she has this, she has a graphic with this exact information on it. So as you're working the square, you can always just refer back to her site for that. Also, I want to make note that stitches written in brackets are all worked into the same stitch. And the first stitch on each row, the chain up, does count as a stitch. So a chain 1, a chain 2, a chain 3, they all count as a stitch. And since I'm from the US, I'm going to be using US terminology if I can remember it, so I'm probably going to have my cheat sheet handy. So chain 1 counts as a single, chain 2 counts as a half double, and chain 3 counts as a double. Okay, so she goes over the special stitches and provides more links, which is really very handy. So now we're going to get ready for the foundation circle. For the foundation, we're going to make a magic circle and then put 8 half trebles or half doubles. I'm going to try and keep this semi-handy. Half doubles into that circle. So what we're going to do is make our magic circle, or you can do your usual however you start a granny circle in the round, or in the round work, whatever works for you. I've done the magic circle quite a few times on video. Look back at any of the other Friendship crochet along ones that are granny square types to see that. Okay, so I just made my magic circle, and then I'm going to work 8 half doubles. Now you can chain up 2 and then work 7 more, or you can just work 8. I'm going to go ahead and, since I finished my chain up, I'm going to work 7 half doubles and count my chain 2, since that's what she says the pattern does. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now she says to start with gold. Sorry, I did not mention that. So my gold in this is pink. Okay. So it doesn't say whether we need to join, but I'm going to assume as much because it is a granny worked in the round. So we're going to join to the top of the chain 2, or your first half double if you did 8 half doubles, and then pull everything tight, and that is the foundation and the start of our pattern. For round 1, we're going to put 2 half double in each stitch. So there's going to be a total of 16. So to start out, as she states in her notes, each round will start with a chain up. So if we're doing half doubles, we chain 2. And then in the same spot as your join, we're going to put another half double. And then in each stitch, and this one gets kind of wonky from the chain and the join, we're going to put 2 half doubles in each one for a total of 16 stitches. So I'm doing that now, obviously, just putting 2 in each stitch. Okay, might be a cool drinking game, water or soda, of course, to take a drink every time I say, "Oh, Carol Simply Soft." How splitty you are. Any kind of combination of that, because it's probably going to happen a lot. And I've said it many times in my other videos. I don't want to hear why do you use it, because I like it still. Alright, now this is not a stitch. Remember, this is just your join up, your chain join up. This loop right here is what makes that. So now we're going to join to the top of our chain 2, or your first half double if you're doing that instead of chains. Whatever counts as your first stitch. All right, so now we have our 16 half double 2. We're going to put a half double in the first stitch and then 2 half doubles in the next, and then that will be the repeat for the entire round. So I'll work that with you, and then we're going to fasten off this color. So per her notes, oh, Karen Simply Soft, we're going to start with our chain 2, and that counts as our first stitch. So I'm going to come over here to this one that gets mangled every time and put, maybe put 2, there we go, half doubles in that. And in the next stitch we do 1 half double, and in the next stitch we do 2. So then we're going to do 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. If I'm going too fast, just pause me. You can also slow videos down. 1 and 2. I might sound funny if you do that though. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Okay, we know we ended up correctly because we ended our pattern repeat or stitch repeat on the correct ending of 2 in the next. And again, this is that loop over, so we're not going to work into that. So now we should have 24 half doubles. We're going to join to the top of our first stitch, and then we're going to fasten off. Grab our next color, which is Sunshine, which is your lightest color. And for me, that is this cream, which I sadly have yet to grab the middle of. Oh, look at that, it's right there. My gosh, you guys saw that, right? Okay, so I'm gonna get myself ready for the round 3. So for round 3, we're going to use our lightest color. In the pattern it says use Sunshine. We're going to do 24 back post double crochet. That's the US term for this. Now I have joined with a slip stitch to where we've been joining up. So this is the top of my chain 2 from the previous round. And instead of chaining up 3, because I've actually already worked this off camera once and decided this is how I'm going to do it, I would recommend chaining 1 And then in the next stitch, work your back post around, because I know that the instructions say chain up 3 for double crochet and then work your stuff, but it also says to have 24 back posts. So in order to do that, we're going to pretend like we haven't already worked on top of this stitch, and we're going to work all the way around, and then when we come back we'll actually put one around this and just join to the top of this one. So since I've completely confused you, I'm going to go ahead and work that and show you. I'm just back post double crocheting around each half double from the previous row, and you may have to split your coupled, the 2 HDC in one stitch below, a little bit to get to them. I only had to do that once when I previously worked this round, so the rest of them played pretty nice. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue working my back post double crochets around each half double from the previous round. Alright, so I am coming up onto the last couple of stitches here. We have the chain up from the previous round and where I joined, and then the stitch before that. So I'm going to go ahead and work my back post around that last half double, and then here's the chain up. So I mentioned at the beginning that I was going to go ahead and work around that instead of chaining up, because it says to have 24 back posts. So I want to do that to make sure that the pattern looks correct. So I just went around the chain up from the previous round. So to join, instead of trying to join to my chain one, I'm going to join to the top of my first back post double. And that will be 24 back post double crochets for round 3. For round 4, we're going to be working a few stitches into one at a time. And though the instructions don't say to work into the next stitch with the next group of stitches, when I worked this out previously, that's how I figured out you need to do it. So to start out, we need to work a half double, a double, and a triple all into the same stitch. So since I've only just joined, I'm going to chain up 2 for my half double, and then work a double in the same stitch that I've joined in, and then a triple, which is to yarn over twice, and then work off 2 loops at a time until you've worked them all off. And then we're going to chain 1, and in the next stitch we're going to work, whoops, the reverse, so that's a triple, double, and half double. Okay, and then we're going to chain 1 and skip 1, and then we'll work a half double, double, triple, chain 1, and in the next one do the reverse, triple, double, half double, chain 1, skip 1, half double, double, triple, chain 1, in the next do a triple, double, half double. And so we should have about 8 of these. I think we may actually get it right. So skip 1, start with a half double, double, and a triple, all in the same stitch, chain 1, and in the next one work a triple, double, half double, all in the same stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 clusters, chain 1, skip 1, work a half double, double, and triple all in the same stitch. Chain 1, work a triple, double, half double all in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, half double, double, triple on the next. Chain 1, triple, double, half double all in the next. Sorry if you can hear my daughter in the background. She likes to play pretty loud. All right. Then we chain 1, skip 1, and then we're going to start with a half double, double, triple all in the next. Chain 1, and then do a triple, double, half double all in the next. Chain 1, skip 1, so that is going to work out perfect. I was a little worried. Half double, double, triple, chain 1, and in the next we're going to work a triple, need more yarn, double, and half double, chain 1, skip this last one, and then we're going to join to the top of our chain 2 or first stitch. That's what you did, and there it is. It's quite lovely. Okay, and then we fasten off this color, so I'm going to chain up 1 to do that, and we're going to snip her off here. Okay, that is round 4. Okay, for round 5, it says to use gold, which is our medium color. For me, that's pink. And start in any chain 1 space between 2 half doubles. So it's the 2 shorty stitches, and there's a chain 1 space between them. So this is the 2 triples, and that's the space between them. So any one of these here that is between the 2 half doubles, you can insert your yarn. This is where I fastened off. I'm going to go to the next one, and I'm going to insert there. And it says right away to do a single crochet. And so this is a standing single. You start out with the slip knot, you insert your hook, grab the yarn, and you have 2 loops on your hook, and then you just complete your single crochet like so. And it's secure, it's on, it's good. And you don't have the chain 1 plus the single crochet. All right, so now it says to back post half double crochet yourself up to the next chain space. So, well, it says to have back post half double crochet times 3. If I could talk, that would be awesome. So I'm going to do that. All right, and now it says to do a 3D sequester. So I understand that as starting 3 double crochets but never finishing them. So I did as if I'm going to do 3 together, which I technically am. So that's now 1 stitch. And this will help keep your stitch count to 64 stitches as well. And then we're going to back post half double our way back down to the next chain space. Okay, sorry if you can hear people in the background. Everybody's so much louder than I am. Oh, really? I'm gonna leave the bloopers, like I always say. It keeps doing that. It like slip stitches right there instead of just grabbing the darn yarn. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to place a single crochet in the next chain spot, chain 1 space. That's the actual repeat. To start out with a single crochet in the first chain space, back post, half double yourself up to the next one and put a 3 double crochet cluster in that, and then back post, half double yourself back down to the next chain space and put a single crochet in that. So you're building this neat little frame up situation. So now I'm going to go ahead and back post, half double crochet myself back up, and put that 3 double crochet cluster in the next chain space. So again, I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2 and hold it, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 and hold it, and do that once more. Now I have 3 incomplete not halves, full double crochets, 3 incomplete double crochets on my hook plus my starting loop. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 4, maybe, because split a yarn, all 4 loops. Now I'm going to back post, half double crochet myself back back down to the next chain space. Oh, I got it. Okay. I like the nice little ray of sunshine coming in to view. And then I'm going to single crochet in the next chain space. So now we've done 2 of those. You're going to do this 8 times total around, but I'm going to continue working it with you for a little bit more. I want to make sure that we fully understand how this works. So I'm I can't talk, back post, half double crocheting myself back up, and I'm going to work that 3DC cluster. So you start one, don't finish, start another, don't finish, start a third, don't finish. Now we can finish all at once. And then we're going to back post, half double ourselves back down. Nope, not yet, I guess. There we go. Back down to the next chain space where we will put a single crochet. All right, and so again, this is what it's looking like. I think it's quite pretty. I know it's like a sun and stars. It looks, because of the colors I'm using, it looks more like a flower, but I still like it a lot either way. I could probably do a whole blanket with this particular square. But because of the way it's written, it's taken me several tries for each round to figure out exactly what she was asking for, because it's not exactly clear. Not to me, anyway. So now I'm doing my 3DC cluster. Ta-da! And back post, half double myself back down. All right. And then I'm going to single crochet in the next chain space. So I'm halfway there. I'm going to finish mine up until I reach this straggler here, and then I will show you what I'm going to do about that, because it's kind of hanging out in the front and I don't want it to. So I will come back when I get to this point. I'll see you in just a moment. As promised, I am back to my straggler, and I want to show you what I'm doing because it is coming out front, because this is where I fastened off, so it just is naturally angling this way. I want all my tails in the back. So I'm just going to take it and fold it back, and I'm going to hold it until I'm past that point. So I need to go ahead and continue working the pattern as it's written, and trying to keep that straggler from coming out. Just going to hold it down as I work past it, and at some point that will kind of trap it back there. Okay, so now I can see that it is officially trapped. And I'm going to go ahead and finish out this round on camera with you. There we go. And our first stitch was, you know, the single crochet. So I'm going to slip stitch to the top of that, which is actually right here. And voila, we are done. And it says to fasten off. Now, I've done this like 4 times for this round because the instructions, I just couldn't get it for whatever reason. So I've actually clipped this down a few times. The first time I fastened off, it fit fine, but now I've fastened off a few times and it gets shorter each time, but now it's really long. So I'm going to pull through all that excess yarn, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim it up some more. I could have worked a whole other square with all this tail. Just kidding, but not really. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and get ready for round 6. For round 6, and yes, I've done this a few times and screwed up every time until I finally went, oh, okay, that's how it's supposed to be. Mostly because I had round 5 incorrect. It says to use Ocean, which will be your darkest color. For me, that's Autumn Red. And to start on top of any cluster. So here's where I fastened off. I'm going to go ahead and start at the top of this cluster. So the stitch we're looking for is right here, this thing. And just going to join with a slip. Now it says to do a front post single, then a single, then a half double, and then 3 doubles, and then a half double, and then a single. And when we do that 8 times, we're going to start over with another front post single, and so on and so forth. So to get started, we need to put a front post single right around this little sort of space that's created from the cluster. Okay, that's where the front post is going to go. So I'm literally just inserting behind everything, and I'm going to pull up and work a front post single. And then in the next stitch, which is technically right here and smushed now, I may or may not grab 2 loops, there we go, and put a single. And then I'm going to work a half double. And then I'm going to work 3 doubles, not all in the same, but 1 in each of the next 3. And then a half double. And then a single. And that finishes the repeat off. So what it appears to be is that we are filling in the dips here with the tallest stitches, and then just working shorter stitches as we have less dip to sort of even it out now and maybe create more of a traditional looking granny. So with this next stitch and the gap behind it, we're going to work a front post single, and then with the stitch that got smushed, we're going to work a single. And you almost may as well just do it in the gap. And then we're going to work a half double, 3 doubles in a row. And that should fill in the deepest part of your gap, or your dip, I should say. A half double and then a single, and that takes us right back to where we want to be. I'm so happy to see that, because the first few times I did this, I was like, why is this not lining up? And like I said, then it dawned on me, so yeah. Okay, so I'm just continuing on, as you can see. I started out with the front post single and then did a regular single, a half double, and now I'm maybe going to finish up my 3 doubles. Now a half double and a single. And again, that's just sort of starting to fill in the dips so that we can start to make this more square. Okay, and now we're going to do that front post single. And then single. You know, I keep sliding this over and trying to get only 2, but I'm just going to have to start going in the gap because that seems to be the easiest. and then a half double, then 3 doubles in a row. And I really like my Valentine colors too. Then a half double and a single to finish the repeat out. Okay, so this is how wonderful it's looking so far, and I have 4 of those done, and it says you're going to do that 8 times, so that seems to make sense, right? Well, let's keep going. We're going to do a front post single. I'm hoping that you can see very well exactly how I'm working that, and then I'm going to do my single right there, and then my half double, and then 3 doubles in a row. Half double, and single. And I ended up right where I needed to. Hooray. You have no idea. I was starting to fret. Did I suddenly forget how to read patterns? All right. Front post, single, then single, then half double, my split city. 3 doubles in a row. Half double. Oh, maybe. And single. All right, we're almost there, guys. I decided to work this one with you because I'm a little worried that you might need to see where I'm placing these stitches a little more. Okay, there's the front post. And then right next to that, I'm going to put the single because that stitch got smashed. And I'm too lazy to try and open it every time. A half double, then 3 doubles in a row. Then another half double and a single. Okay, last one. And then again, like the other one that I had to trap, I'm going to have to trap this one. And this time I may get smart and try and trap this behind when I join, but we'll see. We'll see if smartness prevails or not. Okay, so front post single, single, half double. I'm going to fold that back, 3 doubles in a row, 1, 2, 3, half double, and single for our last stitch. Nice, and we've already worked the front post around this one, so trying to be smart and trapping this down, I'm going to slip stitch to that first single crochet, possibly because it's a little tight for whatever reason. There we go. Oh, I got it. All right, so it's looking quite lovely and colorful. I do really like these Valentine colors. And I'm going to go ahead and get ready for round 7. For round 7, we're going to work 6 singles, a half double, a double, and then all in the next stitch we'll work a double, a triple, and a double. And then we'll move on with another double, another half double, and then we'll put 5 singles, one at a time, one in each of the next 5 stitches. So to get started, if I could grab the yarn, there we go. I'm going to work my first single right here in that front post, single from below, just on top of it. And I got to do 6 of those, so there's 2 now. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now I'm going to work a half double and a double. And then in this next, what was the front post, I'm going to work a double, a triple, and a double all in that same stitch. So a double, triple, and a double all in that same stitch. Grab more yarn. So this is like, there we go. The problem with crocheting with all your bling on. Okay, so then we're going to put a double in the next one, a half double, and then we're going to work 5 singles. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that takes us right back to that front post single, which goes right on top of our little cluster. And then we're going to do it again. So we start over, we do 6 single, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I'm going to stop here for a second because I know you're going, hold up, you just put that big cluster on top of this one, why didn't you do it here? Well, because this is a corner and we're building corners now, so we need to work a side and then a corner. So just thought I would clarify that for you. So I worked my 6 singles. I'm going to do a half double and a double, and that takes me to my next front post single from below, where I'm going to put that 3 stitches in one. So it's going to be a double, a triple, and another double all in one. And there's our next corner piece, it looks like. So then we're going to work another double in the next one, and then a half double in the next, and then we're going to put, work 5 single crochet across 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. And we're back to another cluster. So now we're going to start over, because just like this side, we need to work a full side first before we do another corner bit. So we're going to start out with our 6 single, and that goes in this spot here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, work a half double, and then a double, and that takes us to the front post single from the row below, where we're going to work the double, triple, double all in one, a half double in the next, and then I'm going to work 5 singles and then 6 singles to make our next side, which will be 11 single crochets in a row. So I'm going to go ahead and start that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that did bring me to my front post. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now I'm going to work a half double, splits, a double, and that takes me to that front post again, where I'm going to put my 3 stitches in one, so double, triple, double. And then I'm going to double in the next, half double in the next. And as you can see, we're coming to the end, and the end of the repeat is to work 5 singles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's my last stitch, 5, and that's the join loop. So now I'm going to slip stitch to the top of my first single crochet, and that completes round 7. Let me get that in the view better. Yeah, that'd be nice. All right, there you go. It's looking really pretty, guys. I'm going to get ready for round 8, and I will meet you back. For round 8, we had a slight correction to the pattern. The designer and I had to iron some things out, and we'll try to get an updated pattern to everyone. But so you know now, we're going to, it'll be 76 stitches total for the entire round and not the 80 that's listed on the pattern. To get started, we're going to work a total of 9 half doubles. It says 10, but it's 9. And then we're going to work a corner, and then we're going to work 8 half doubles around. So that will give us our stitch count total for 76. Now I'm just going to get you started, and I'm going to half double right into that join. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we're going to be working our corner on top of the triple crochet from the previous round, and that is a half double, chain 2, half double, all into the same stitch. And then we're going to work 8 half doubles to finish out the repeat. This is my second, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that brings us back to the middle of our side. So we started in the middle, we worked a corner, and then we finished in the middle. So that's why this repeat is a little different. We don't start in a corner, we start in the middle of a side. So now we're going to work the other corner, and we need to start the repeat over with 9 half double crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And here we are back at the next triple crochet, and we're going to work our corner of half double, chain 2, half double, all into the same stitch. And then we're going to finish our repeat out with another 8 half doubles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so now we have worked, I'm going to push this out of the way, half of our square. So for the other half, we need to work 9 half doubles, put a corner on top of the triple, work 8 half doubles, and then we'll work 9 half doubles, put a corner on top of the triple crochet, and then 8 half doubles, and then join up to the first stitch of the round. I'm going to work that off camera, and then I will meet you back at the end. All right, I am back, and I have finished my entire round, and I'm going to join up with a slip stitch to the top of the first stitch and fasten off. I am going to trim my tail down a little bit. I made it way too long. Okay, so that is the end of round 8. For round 9, we have another minor correction. Instead of 9 stars, you're going to have 8. So we're going to get started in a corner. So you can pick any corner spot to start in. I'm just going to go from where I fastened off right over to the next one and join with a slip stitch. All right, and then it says to do a half double chain to half double right into the corner. So I'm just going to do that half double chain to half double all into the corner. Then you need to chain one, and now we're going to start our first star stitch. If you've never done a star stitch before, don't worry, you're going to learn here, but you can also go to her website to see how to do it. It's worth taking a look if you're still just a little unsure. So in her instructions, she says to start working your first star stitch from the corner into the chain 2 space. So we're going to insert our hook there and pull up a loop. And I'm so sorry I forgot to tell you, as I had been telling you, you're going to need, when you fasten off, to change to your lightest color. I don't know why I didn't mention that. All right, so we've got our first loop. We're going to need 6 total. So now we need to go in to see this half double right here. There's 2 loops. It gets smashed when you work over it, but you can't skip it or it'll throw everything off. So you need to insert into that and then pull up another loop. And you're leaving all these loops on, kind of like Tunisian, where we're gathering loops. Okay, and then we're going to go into the next stitch and pull up a loop. And then we're going to go into the next stitch and pull up a loop. So now we have 5 and we need 6, so one more, go into the next stitch and pull up a loop. So now we have 6, we're going to yarn over and pull through all 6, split a yarn, and chain 1. Now don't pull that tight because you have to work back into that, what we call the eye of a star stitch, not once, but twice. You'll work it the second time when we do the next round. So for now, and for each other star after, for the next 7 stars, we're going to start in the eye that we just made. So you're going to insert back into that spot and pull up a loop. Now you see how we have all these legs? Underneath this last leg, you need to insert and pull up a loop. Now you see this last stitch that we worked into here that has the legs visible in it? You need to insert there and pull up a loop. Now we have 4, we need 2 more. So we're going to work into each of the next 2 stitches. So we're going to insert into the next stitch and pull up a loop and do the same thing in the next stitch. Now we have 6 loops. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 6 and chain 1, but don't pull it tight. And now we have 2 star stitches started. They don't get finished until the next round. A star stitch is a 2 round or row repeat. Okay, so again, to go do the next one, we're going to insert into the eye under that last leg and pull up a loop, into the last stitch you worked into and pull up a loop, into the next stitch and pull up a loop, and the next stitch and pull up a loop. So now we have 6 loops. You're going to yarn over and pull through all through 6 and chain 1, but don't pull tight. Okay, I'm going to keep doing this with you. Insert into the eye and pull up a loop, the last leg and pull up a loop, the last stitch you worked into and pull up a loop, the next stitch, pull up a loop, and the next stitch, pull up a loop. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 6 and chain 1, but don't pull tight. So now we have 4 star stitches. We need to do another 4. So again, start in the eye, pull up a loop, the last leg, pull up a loop, the last stitch worked, pull up a loop, the next stitch, pull up a loop, and the next stitch, pull up a loop. I am going to work a little bit faster, so you can pause me if you need to, but then I yarned over and I pulled through all and chained 1, but did not pull tight. So in the eye, the last leg, which is always a little tricky, especially if you have split yarn. There. in the last stitch and in each of the next 2 stitches. Yarn over and pull through all 6 loops and chain 1, but don't pull tight. Now the eye, the last leg, the last stitch, and each of the next 2 stitches. Yarn over, pull through all loops, and chain 1. Okay, so I can see that we have enough room for our last eye, and then we'll have a stitch at the end to work into, and don't worry, we will do that. So grab the eye, the last leg, the last stitch, and each of the next 2 stitches. Yarn over and pull through all, and chain 1. Now we have 1 half double left to work into, so we're going to put a half double in that as per the instructions. Split City. Oh, Karen Simply Soft. And then we're going to work a corner in the corner. So that's a half double, chain 2, half double. I'm sorry if you can hear my daughter in the background. She told me she'd be quiet, but yeah, that didn't work out. And neither did the splitty yarn. All right. So to continue on, we're going to work that first star stitch. So we have a starting star stitch that starts in the corner, and then we have our regular stars along the side. But before we can start, we need to chain 1, which is something I kind of forgot to do when I worked this the first time, and it made everything really curly, so please don't forget that. All right, so I'm going to scooch things over because it smashes this stitch pretty badly, but I'm going to insert into the corner space and pull up a loop. And then I'm going to go into the smashed stitches 2 loops at the top and pull up a loop. And we just keep gathering loops until we have 6 on our hook. So you can see I have 5 now, and now I have 6. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of those and chain 1, but do not pull tight. So now, insert into the eye, the last leg, the last stitch, and each of the next 2 stitches. We've done this before, right? Oh goodness. There we go. Chain 1, but don't pull tight. So I'm going to work one more with you on camera. Insert into the eye, under the leg, the last stitch in the next 2 stitches. Yarn over, pull through all, and chain 1, but don't pull tight. So I'm going to shove this out of the way so you can see. So I want you to continue working 8 stars across the side, and then put a half double in the last half double, work your corner, and then start your starting star. That's a lot of star words, in the corner spot, and then work 7 more for a total of 8 stars across. Half double, corner, corner star, 7 more stars, half double, and join. I know that's a tall thing, but basically you're just working this repeat along. If you need to rewind me, just rewind me to where I show you how to work the corner star and all of these stars as well across the sides, because each side is worked exactly the same way. So just keep working as you have been, and I will meet you back before I finish up and show you where to join up, and we will get started for the next round, which will be done in the same color, so don't fasten off. Okay, so I actually already slip stitched to my first stitch of the round, but I want to make sure that you see something. First, I'm going to go ahead and join to the first stitch of the round and leave it there. So you see how this is really curly? It's because of gathering up stitches. It does this in Tunisian too. When you gather up stitches like that, it kind of pulls things pretty tight, and the work wants to curl in on itself. Especially if you're never turning your work and then working the opposite direction back. That will happen a lot too. So, but don't worry, if your stitch count is correct and you put the chain 1 after your corner to start up your next star, then you're okay. It's going to curl. It will flatten out with round 10. For round 10, we need to slip stitch to the corner space. I know it doesn't say that in your pattern, unless you've downloaded the latest version of it. I highly recommend you do so. But per what the designer and I worked out, slip stitch to the corner space and work a corner, so half double, chain 2, half double. And then we're going to half double in the smashed stitches here, which is why I slid mine over half double. And then we're going to half double under the chain space that we created here. And now I told you we were going to work into that eye stitch twice. This is the second time. We're going to put 2 half doubles into each eye along the side in each star stitch. This will complete the star stitch. So put 2 half doubles in the eye, 2 in the next eye, 2 in the next eye, 2 in the next, 2 in the next, and in each star stitch, 2 half doubles in each eye. And then when we finish putting 2 in our last star, we're going to put a half double into the next half double, which is right here. And then we're going to half double in the next half double, which is part of your corner from the previous round. Then we're going to work a corner in the chain 2 space. So that's a half double, chain 2, half double, all in the chain space. And that is your repeat for this round. So I want you to see how these star stitches do end up finishing. It's so pretty. I really like a good star stitch. Okay, to continue on, we need to slide our work over, and we're going to repeat what we just did for this first side. We're going to half double in this next half double that gets smashed, and then under the chain space. Now, if you were like me when I first worked this, I forgot to chain up 1 after I did my previous corner to start my next star, and it created even more curl. So if you forgot to do that, don't frog, because I actually managed to make it work by just doing a half double under these 2 loops here, and that evened it out. So there's a way to fake it till you make it, as Mikey from the Crochet Crowd says, in this round. So now we're going to put 2 half doubles into each eye on this side. If you got some of your eyes too tight, then it's going to be difficult. So that's a lesson you can learn from yourself, is to, when you're doing star stitches, don't do a tight chain up. Okay, so now again we're back to our half doubles. I'm going to put a half double on top of this one and a half double on top of this one, and that finishes out the repeat, but not the side, because we do need to work a corner. So as you can see now, it's starting to lay flat here and here, but this is still curling because we haven't finished our star stitch. Don't worry, it will work out. So now I'm going to keep working this with you on camera. We're going to put a corner here, a half double, chain 2, half double. Maybe I will. Can I catch that? There. I'm going to slide it over like I do so I can expose these stitches, and we're going to put a half double into that one and a half double under the chain up, and then 2 half doubles in each eye across the side. So I hope that you've found the rhythm for this round. It's actually not too shabby, because I am going to go ahead and finish this off camera. Sorry, my brain is slow today. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off camera. See, you can even see now that even this part is laying flat once I've worked it. So it does work, I promise. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this round. Remember to put your half doubles on half doubles, work your corner, put a half double on the half double and in the chain space, and then 2 in each eye. When you get to the end, you're going to finish putting half doubles in. There's 2 of them there. And then you'll join with a slip stitch to the first half double of your round, which was started in the corner. And then we will fasten off and grab your darkest color. But before that, I will meet back with you somewhere around in here. I'm about to finish up round 10, and you can see now that it's starting to lay pretty flat. If you leave it alone or if you mess with it, it will kind of curl back in, but nothing near like it was. And that's going to get fixed yet some more in the next round, so don't worry. So now I've left my last 2 stitches to work, so I'm going to work into the last 2 half double crochets of this round, and this is where I fastened off, or not fastened off, but joined up last time. And I'm thinking, instead of, if I can get it up, there it goes. If you can't finagle it in, just go in this gap here. All right, so this will finish me out, and I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the top of my half double, and then I'm going to fasten off and get ready for round 11. For round 11, we're going to start in any chain 2 space, so again any corner, and then we're going to put a double crochet, chain 1 double crochet in each corner. And then we're going to work double crochets across the top of every half double that we did along the sides, and then we'll work another corner. So before we get too far, we're going to join in any corner, just like so, and you can do a chain 3 and then plus 1 more chain for your chain up, or you can do a standing double crochet, whatever you prefer. I'm going to do my standing double. I can't talk. And then chain 1 and do another double all in that same corner space. Now I'm going to slide this over because it gets smashed, as I've been saying, and it's so smashed, it's so hard to get into. There it is. I'm going to put a double there and in each stitch along the side. And it's going to be 22 double crochets, excuse me, across the side. That does not count the 2 in the corner. So if you're counting to make sure, you need 22 double crochets between the corners. And for those curious, you should have had, excuse me, 88 stitches for round 10. So I'm up to my corner, and I'm going to place 1 double, chain 1, and 1 double crochet. And again, slide this over to expose those loops and work a double crochet into that one. And again, if you're counting, you will have gotten 22 doubles between each corner bit. So I'm going to continue working double crochets along the side, 22 total, and then I'm going to work my corner in the chain 2 space, and then 22 doubles, and then another corner, and then 22 more doubles, and then I'm going to join to the top of my first double with a slip stitch and fasten off, and I'll meet you back when I get close to the end. So I'm at the end of round 11, and I'm going to work my last couple of stitches. Whoop, there it goes. And now I'm going to join to the top of my standing half double that I did. You join to the top of your stitch. And I believe we can fasten off. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn, because this is it. this is the entire square, and we just have a few ends to weave in. No big deal, right? We've had a few squares like that all of a sudden. Okay, so a couple things. One, mine doesn't completely make 9 inches. It's very close though. So all I'm going to have to do is block. But when I block, the reason I'm explaining this to you, because typically when you block, you're only blocking your edges. But I'm going to suggest that you also block your center out a little, because that will help reduce some of the stretching of your edge pieces. In the center is what's causing a buckle, or not a buckle, but like a rise up in the middle. So let's go ahead and block your center and your outer, and that will make it very uniform and it will look good. It won't look all stretched out in some areas and puffy in others. Okay, so I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you. Thank you to Cloudberry for a gorgeous square, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.